Namaste. A very pleasant evening, everyone, to another episode of PSAI Talk Show. I am Kalpana Thakur joining from Faridabad. Do let us know in the chat box from which part of the globe you are joining this session. Those of you who are meeting me for the first time, I am Kalpana Thakur, Chartered Accountant turned speaker, trainer, and communication and influence strategist. Through my work, I help professionals transform their knowledge into influence by strengthening their communication, confidence, and executive presence. I am the founder of Art of Influence Training Services and Friday Fleet, a platform dedicated to empowering women through consistent learning and meaningful conversation. And also, I am an active member of Professional Speaker Association of India. It's an absolute pleasure to be your host today, and I'm excited to learn along with all of you as we explore a speaker's biggest advantage. Now, for those who don't know what PSAI is, the Professional Speaker Association of India is a community dedicated to enhancing professional speaking career globally. PSAI is a part of Global Speakers Federation comprising 17 national speaking associations across the globe. In India, PSAI operates across many cities such as Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Vadodara, and we have recently launched a virtual chapter. The PSAI Talk Show is a live and interactive series created to bring meaningful conversation with accomplished speaker and industry leaders. Through this conversation, we explore topics that help us grow as speakers while also giving you a glimpse into the vision, mission, and opportunity that Professional Speaker Association of India offer to its members. Today's topic, a speaker's biggest advantage, is it knowledge, communication, confidence, personal branding, or it is something far more powerful that shapes a speaker's journey? Well, we'll unfold that today. Our guest today is living proof that your beginning do not define your destiny. From growing up in a slum with limited resources to becoming one of the India's most sought after keynote speaker, his journey is remarkable story of resilience, determination and the relentless pursuit of excellence. He transformed challenges into opportunities and built a career that inspired thousands across the globe. Professionally, he is a keynote speaker, author, business consultant, and thought leader, widely known as productivity explorer. But for him, productivity isn't about doing more, it's about doing what truly matters. With over 20 years of leadership experience across manufacturing, automotive, and service industry, he has partnered with renowned organizations such as Hyundai, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, and TVS, helping leaders and teams unlock higher performance through the power of mindset. He is founder of Zepro Consultant, where he empower organization through leadership, development, productivity transformation, and consulting. He has authored several books revolving around productivity mindset. Ranked among the top 10 motivational speaker in India, he has impacted over 130,000 lives globally and the journey still continues. But beyond the accolades, what truly makes him special is his unwavering belief that success is not determined by where you begin, but by your willingness to learn, grow, and keep moving forward. Today, we'll not only explore his journey, but also uncover what he believes is a speaker's biggest advantage. the lesson that shaped his career, and how communities like PSAI can accelerate the journey of every aspiring professional speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to our distinguished guest today, Mr. Sagar Amlani.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Kalpana, for amazing introduction and going deep diving and finding out more about me. It was a pleasure listening and humbled to relive some moments which were milestones in my life. So thank you so much for that wonderful introduction.
Sagar, trust me, I actually was getting goosebumps when I was hearing your story on Josh Talk, and then I've followed the talk on the TEDx platform. So it's really motivating to hear your story and believe that nothing is impossible.
True, true. Dreams come true.
Yes, dreams come true. So, Sagar, I've listened as I mentioned your story, and one thing that truly stand out is your journey from humble beginnings. Looking back, what was the first step that changed the direction of your life? And more importantly, what was the first step that set on the path of becoming a professional speaker, set you on the path of becoming professional speaker?
So, coming to the point where you said professional speaker, I would go a little back before sharing about professional speaking. What changed the path from the slums was just one sentence which my mother spoke to me when we actually lost everything. She just said, nature has everything in abundance. Learn to channelize it. And that's the day. And today I always feel abundance and live in abundance. And when I say abundance, it's not kind of an abundance mindset that we are talking about, but it's abundance of everything. I mean, and it's not that I want everything for myself. That's not abundance. Abundance for me means being content with what you have and feeling abundance in what you have. Now, having said that, what connected with me with PSAI or professional speaking was someone I still look up to with a lot of high regards, and that's Nikhil Chaudhary. So during 2018, I was in Hyderabad working for an organization and organizing LinkedIn Local Hyderabad, where I got connected with Nikhil Chaudhary, and he invited me to give a talk on power of networking because LinkedIn since then had been one of my core areas where I used to leverage LinkedIn to generate more business. So since 2018, that's something which I could call my second home, my niche, or my passion. And he said, why don't you give a session on that? And I gave a session, and after the session, he said, you know what? People actually pay for speakers like you, and why don't you explore professional speaking? And I was like, come again? And that was a shocker. So my first shocker was when Nikhil Chaudhary invited me to speak at PSAI Hyderabad as a chapter level meeting, and that was my journey into speaking.
Nice, very nice, Sagar. So it was a kind of a encounter, unexpected encounter with PSAI, and something that will stuck with me, Sagar. I'm sure with our audience as well. That what was mentioned by your mother is abundance. So nature is having everything in abundance. It's up to us to channelize it. Are you able to hear me properly now?
Yeah, it's broken, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. So, Sagar, all of our audience is waiting, and together with them, I'm also waiting to hear what is that secret. Is it, as I mentioned at the start, is it focusing on the content? Is it about storytelling? Is it about branding, networking, or social media? What is the biggest secret of speaker community to have to be on the path of success?
Okay, I could hear your question a little broken, so I'm just trying to assimilate the tidbits what I heard and evaluate what you're saying. You're asking me about personal branding and communication is what I heard. But if you can repeat the question, that'll be nice because I'm
Yes.
unable
Am I
to. Yeah,
audible? Am I audible properly now?
yeah, sure.
So I'll repeat my question, Sagar. So what is the biggest secret of the speakers? Is it branding? Is it networking? Is it their niche? So we want to know from you. So and I'm sure all of our audience wants to know what is the biggest secret of speakers.
Lovely. What is the biggest advantage of speakers? Now, that's the question that we always, all of us have, and we try to think that finding your niche, is it my biggest advantage, or my personal branding, or my one pager, or my speaker reel? And the answer to that question is very simple. You need everything in one place. Moreover, you need a community. You need a pack of people to hold your hand, to mentor you, to help you grow in the journey as a professional speaker, to evaluate your keynotes, give you critical feedback, and moreover, handhold you from where you are to where you want to be. So, the answer to that question is you need a community of professional speakers who have been there, who have done that, and that is the biggest advantage of any professional speaker. So if any professional speaker was listening to this conversation right now, you need a group of people who you can call your wolf pack, who help you to transform and reach to the destination of your journey.
Wonderful, wonderful, Sagar. I hope now you are able to hear me properly. Sagar, am I audible to you? I request all our audience, you got to know what is the secret. Yes, it's our community, and I request all of you to keep posting your question you would like to ask to our guest, and also mention in the comment what is the part of the discussion that you are able to connect more. We will take your question as and when possible. Sagar, moving ahead, as we got to know that community is our biggest advantage. I would like to hear from you how the community of PSAI actually helped Sagar Amlani in his journey of becoming India's top 10 keynote speakers.
Well, the list of people and the list of experiences I could say are endless, but to start with, I mean, as I told you, my first introduction was 2018 with Nikhil Chaudhary inviting me at Hyderabad uh, to speak at one of the chapter event. And that is where I met the second person who again impacted my life, and that was Srijata Bhatnagar. So she was writing a book on setback leadership. And when she started speaking to me, she said, "You've already experienced setback in your life, and this is a very powerful story. Why don't you share it with the world?" And I said, "Big deal. I mean, everybody goes through some or the other problems in their life. So why is it so special?" And then she started giving me insights about my own life in a way where I could understand how she was relating as a storyteller, as a setback leader, understanding what traits I portray when I was in setback and what made me come out. And she's like, "I'm going to write about you in my book." So she started interviewing me and writing in her book. That made me realize that, oh my God, this is something very powerful. And I started going back, reliving those moments, identifying the nuances that shaped my life. And that gave the birth to my first book, At the Crossroads of Life.
Uh,
And then it was the second person, Kiruba, who I met in 2019 during the PSS conference. Um, Same conference, I also met Frederick Heron. And I also met Praveen Shekhar. And since then, they have been my mentors, people who have hold me, and the list goes on and on. Like, Bharti Nayak from Vadodara has been one of the support. Harish Kumar, we've done LinkedIn series together during the COVID lockdown, and he taught me so many things about video, audio, setting up internal studios for virtual keynotes. So the list goes endless. I mean, in the journey, you also learn about website, about marketing yourself, about creating your own niche. So that's what PSA has helped me to grow and come to a journey where today I've completed writing not one, not two, but completely four books. I've got an IP on the book. The whole thing is now already appreciated by the Ministry of Coal. I've been giving sessions there. And on 15th, I'll be giving a session to Ministry of Technical Textiles in Delhi in Bharat Mandapam. What more can you ask from a community?
Amazing, Sagar. I'm really feeling grateful that I'm already part of the community. And it's true when we say 1 plus 1 is not two, it's 11. When it comes to that, having that synergy of being in company of the people, right people who are able to see that potential we possess as a speaker. So there is lot to learn, that why there is a need to be in company of the like-minded professional speaker, seasoned speaker, I must say. All the name that you have taken are the big name in the industry of global professional speaking. Sagar, thank you so much for sharing. Moving ahead, I want to know your perspective. What actually separates someone who is just a good speaker from someone who builds a successful speaking career? And I'll tell you, most of the audience, someone who is at the start stage of their professional speaking journey, they would like to know this answer from you. What actually
Sure.
separates them?
What separates them? Rather than that, I would say let's go one step back and understand where does it all start. Basically, it starts from the knowledge economy or the knowledge that is available on internet now, chat GPT, WhatsApp, and YouTube. The information overload makes us take notes, we take screenshots, we have groups with our own self to save the videos, to understand something to watch later. We keep downloading YouTube videos that we will watch later. The irony is we don't do something which is the most essential, and that is also answer to your question. We don't take action. What is
Yes.
missing is action. So most of the people I have seen who have grown in their journey are the people who take action. And this is where I come to a point to explain that why few take actions and why few of them, maybe they procrastinate, or they're kind of waiting for that perfect moment to come, or they're overwhelmed, and they kind of get zoned out with the information overload, and sometimes they lack clarity. So that is where I think the speakers who take action without fear, and speakers who are willing to take that extra step and keep learning in their journey, keep asking for help, keep taking support. And it's okay to make mistakes. So, people who take actions without fear will definitely achieve their goals.
Sagar, I'm able to relate to what you have just shared. Action is what needed that will differentiate us. If I'll share my experience, I was knowing about the Community of Professional Speaker Association of India from the year 2023, but it took me lot many year. I became member last year. So, and after joining the community, I have realized that what I was missing by not taking the action of joining the community. And thank you. So I hope our audience got the answer. Those who are not part of the community, what they have to do next, right immediately after the session. Now, Sagar, moving ahead, If you will get the opportunity to meet the Sagar who delivered his first keynote, what that one piece of advice you will give to that Sagar, new to the professional keynote speaking journey, delivering his first keynote?
I would just stand in the corner of the room, enjoy his delivery the way it was, with multiple, corrections in my mind. But the only advice I would give him is have fun on the stage and just keep enjoying, because when a speaker is delivering and having fun, the audience listening also has fun. And you always remember and learn whatever is said in a very light note, with a funny thing, or something which is, given to you very easily. Now, why do I say that? Is because we, all of us, we still remember our early age jingles and poetries and other stuff, because that's what we learned as fun, with teachers doing all the expressions and no stress involved. So that's what I would say. Just keep having fun like he always did.
It's as simple as that. Just have fun, being mindful in the moment, enjoying every moment. That's what we have to do with every piece of opportunity we are getting to connect with our audience.
True.
Now, Sagar, again, I would like you to go back and search that turning point that completely changed the trajectory of your speaking career. Is there something, or was it a simple and the straightforward road? I'm sure it was not.
No, it was absolutely not a straightforward road. So let's define first what professional speaking truly means. To understand that, it's a question that you should ask if you're aspiring to be a professional speaker, or you're on your journey to become a professional speaker, that are you willing to put everything aside to become a professional speaker? Is professional speaking the only career that you choose? Is professional speaking the only source of your income? Because when you're committed to that level, is when you actually aspire and focus in that direction. Otherwise, what happens is, we call ourselves as keynote speaker, we invest in training, coaching, mentoring, we also invest in multiple other things, and we also have a side business. Then professional speaking is just one part of your life. And the turning point which came in my career, where today I would say that 80% of my time, my revenue, and my energy goes into professional speaking as a career. And that was in 2021, that I quit my job as a vice president post COVID, and I said, done with this. I took a leap of faith, not knowing exactly what's ahead, but I just knew one thing, that I want to pursue my career as a professional speaker. Reason being that whenever I spoke on the stage, the happiness, the energy that I used to receive was overwhelming, and it was very, very positive. So I said, this is beyond money. This is, I mean, money became a secondary option, but connecting with people, sharing that energy, sharing that, those moments where they could say that, this is what you said was bothering me, and now I got what to do. So that was a turning point in my life, 2021, when I quit my job as a VP to completely pursue my career as a professional speaker.
Thank you, Sagar, for sharing this. But your answer to this question, Sagar, leaves us with one thought, and I'm sure most of those speaker who are novice to this journey of professional speaking will have that. At the start, all of us know we need that positioning, that experience to be financially stable in the journey. When we talk about sailing in two boats, sometimes it is needed, right? In that situation, how someone will be able to do justice and give 100% to the part to the goal of their professional speaking journey? Like someone who has started, like already, I hope you got to understand what I'm trying to say. Someone who is starting with the backup and someone who is not having the backup.
So that's a beautiful question. I would say why? Because even I was in the same scenario, being a single breadwinner of the family, not having a huge heritage or a backup, and building everything on my own. So the best way to do that was, if you noticed, I said 2018 I was introduced to professional speaking, and 2021 I took the leap of faith, which means
Yes,
I
yes.
invested good 3 4 years to do that. And everyone should take their own sweet time. Someone can take 2 years, someone can take 5 years, someone can take 10 years. Each one of us are unique, each one of us is special, and each one of us has a different journey in their life, which means everyone is right where they should be, and they are in their journey. The only thing is, you should be clear of what your aspiration is, right? If you're clear with your aspiration, that's good enough. The time will come when you will take that leap of faith. You need not copy anyone just because they did it. You take your time.
When we thank you, Sagar, for sharing. Everyone is having the different journey. My start and start of Sagar Amlani into the professional speaking may not necessarily be same, and it will never be same for the two speaker in the room.
Absolutely.
Taking the time in that process when someone joins PSAI community, or putting in this way, many people think joining PSAI is enough. In your opinion, what should member actually do to leverage the power of the community, the biggest secret that we have discussed at the start, Sagar?
Okay, so this question I would answer with a beautiful metaphor. Let's say you are in a room where buffet is being served, and there's everything that you need, that you like, some things that you don't like, all the sweets in the world, all the cuisines of the world, all the drinks of the world. The only problem is you don't get up from your seat, and you are not taking anything or any efforts to pick up the food and put it in your plate or fill your glass. You will remain hungry. And PSAI is exactly like that. There is a buffet, there is tons and tons and tons of information, execution ideas, hand holding projects, everything. But it boils down to one thing: you have to take action. If someone does not take action, PSAI becomes merely just a place where you sit, you enjoy, you watch everything, you clap for everything, and you continue your journey. But if someone really joins PSAI and they really want to grow in their journey, my humble request would be: A, start attending masterminds, keynotes, keynote labs, mentoring sessions, be active on the WhatsApp group, talk to members, ask your questions, ask your doubts, and there are people who can willingly help you to find answers. Is because everything that you're facing right now as a new person, a new member, or maybe a new speaker or an aspiring speaker, someone already has taken that action in the community, and you have access to them. And the beautiful part about PSAI is none of us are competitors, because each one of us has got a different niche, a different area, a different market, a different industry. It actually means that everyone is willing to help you. There's nothing as competition. In fact, we actually pass speaking engagements, speaking events internally to each other if that is not my niche or that is not my area. However, that is not the prime offering of PSAI. PSAI offering is very simple. It helps you to groom yourself as a professional speaker. The the best way to do it is ask questions, engage yourself, and do it. Like, what you're doing is beautiful. You've been into the system very new, and today you're hosting PSAI talk show. I'm sure to host that, you would have invested in looking at earlier talk shows. You would have engaged in knowing about me, and in that you would have already got some answers which you were thinking for. Now that's an involvement that you showed, and that involvement is giving you experience.
Thank you, Sagar. So, the answer to most of the question to someone who is at the start of the journey is action, right?
Action
And
and involvement.
involvement. Yes, I totally agree. Being into the part of the system, it's 1 year now. Mastermind, the keynote lab, mentoring session, and many things that we do to equip our member to be on the journey of professional speaking. Now,
True.
what is that one habit action we got to know? Primary habit we should inculcate is not thinking and actually daydreaming, but taking the action, right action in the right direction. Apart from that, one habit every professional speaker should build from day one, Sagar, from your experience.
I would say reading. uh, from my experience, I would invest in reading, because reading actually grows your vision. It helps you to visualize, it helps you to create more stories. It also polishes your vocabulary, and it also helps you to understand um, the world in a different way. So for me, it's reading personally that helps a professional speaker, because the more you read, and reading is not only self-help books, I'm talking about reading even mythological books. Like, I pick up stories from Mahabharata, I pick up stories from Pancharatna, Panchatantra, I pick up stories from Akbar Birbal. So it's all about reading and enjoying that knowledge. And when I meant reading, I meant reading through books.
So, reading is something every speaker should have a habit. Now, here I would like to remind to our audience, if you are with us in the discussion, type those two things, two action that Sagar suggested every speaker to take into their journey. So, first habits start with A and the second with R. Let's see how many of you are with us in the discussion. And together with that, I would also like to remind you to take action. If you are having a question in mind to ask our guest today, do not think, take that action to bring your fingers to the keyboard and type those questions. We will ask it to our speaker. Moving ahead, Sagar, um, what is that one learning you got on the stage as a speaker that otherwise you would have not learned on learning from the stage as a speaker, as a keynote speaker?
The most important thing that I learned from the stage is how to behave when I'm in an audience. Because my observation as a keynote speaker from the stage is, when you look at audience, when you're engaging with audience, you always will find one person in the whole room who would be actually on an eye to eye contact with you, and who would be like nodding, absorbing, engaging. And for us speaker, that gives a lot of energy. So that's one thing that I learned, that when I will attend other people's session, or when I go to other keynote speeches or to events, I always ensure that I engage with the speaker. I try to make an eye contact, I show my body movements in a very positive gesture. And that is what I learned, that to be a good attendee. Because to become a speaker, the second, third thing that you need is always observing and learning. Because the more you learn from others, the more you skill yourself. The more you observe others, the more you correct yourself. So it taught me how to observe and learn as an attendee from the stage.
Observing, observing from the stage how the audience are reacting, right?
Yeah, and to be a good attendee.
And to be a good attendee. Sagar, we got to know and we have discussed the importance and the benefits of being part of the community. And yes, Manish Solanki, action, involvement, and reading. He is with us, Manish. Thank you so much for responding.
Manish actually made an acronym for us. We should breathe air in PSAI, which is action, involvement, and reading.
Yes, yes, breathe air in the PSAI. Being part of the community, Sagar, you will agree that there is a uh, information coming from all the direction. Uh, and sometimes it is overwhelming for someone who is just starting. Doing it step by step, how to do it, what to leave for now, what to do it immediately, there is something we have to decide by our own. So,
Yep.
to take the leverage at maximum, how to decide that step, that learning in action to be taken in our journey for someone who is into the start.
So there's a beautiful way which can help you to do that. Number one, filter. Choose which message is for you and which is not for you. Why? Because everybody is in a different journey, at a different level, and at a different phase. Some of us don't even know what our niche is. Some of us know what our niches are, but we don't know how to brand it. Somebody has already branded it, but they don't know how to market it. And somebody who's already marketing it is waiting for consistency. So each one of us is at a different level. The best way to do it is, there is a filter that you need to create. List down the things that you need to do. Like, write down three aspirations that you have for this year. For example, I'm just saying random example, that the first aspiration should be to find my niche. Then everything, every post, every conversation on WhatsApp that talks about niche should get your attention, nothing else. Second, let's say the second aspiration is that you want to create your website or a speaker reel or a one pager. Now, anything that talks about that in the WhatsApp group should have your attention. Nothing else should matter right now. Because if you're not there in the game and you listen to someone who is already marketing, who is connecting with speaker bureaus, who has got his book, who has been into trademarking, who is doing IP, all that is an expense. Now, as you rightly said to me, that in the journey initially, we don't want to spend that money. Why would you put your focus to those points where you need to spend money? Start focusing on building your business first. So it's about filtering and it's about identifying what you need. And for that, it's a very simple framework that I use. I call it AIM. A stands for awareness. Build your awareness of where you are, where you want to go, what are the missing things that you need, awareness of who can help you within the community, and awareness about what are the financial implications of that dream that you're planning. So, first is awareness. Second, invest. Invest your time, energy, and emotions only to those points that you have decided to pursue in that year, right? So if you've decided to pursue for your website, speaker reel, and one pager, just focus on that. Leave everything aside. You don't need to invest time in marketing, branding, and etc. when you don't have your basic things done. So wait for it. It's okay. Go step by step. The problem is when people run. So that's I. Invest your time, energy, and emotion on the goals that you've set. And M, my motivation. Motivation comes only when you have internal motivators, not external. If you as a speaker are waiting for a standing ovation, you are depending on others to tell you that you've done good. I don't go on a stage and expect a standing ovation every time. I go on a stage to motivate myself to do better than the last keynote, to give more than the last keynote, to ensure that the impact is better than the last keynote. And I am the judge to decide that. And those are my internal motivators. Because every time you go on a stage and you don't get a standing ovation, you will feel, you know what, I'm not a good speaker. But are you evaluating yourself with your internal milestones? So AIM, awareness, investment, motivation, a three-step formula.
Wonderful, Sagar. I am sure the audience are keeping the notes. So, first, before looking at the information coming from all the direction, we have to decide what we want, where we stand right now. If we talk in the terms of the competency, Professional Speaker Association is talking about those 8 to 10 competency.
The
First, to
eight,
see,
the eight
yeah.
competencies, fill it and see where you are and see the gaps.
Yes, and then looking for the information around that, and the formula we have to follow is awareness, investment, and motivation is
Yeah.
something. Sagar, I must say you have actually helped the speakers to filter out where to focus when we talk about the information coming every now and then. To be
Yeah.
more precise, every week we discuss and we get to hear. Being in the era of technology, there is a lot to learn and implement. So there is a question from the audience, and while that question is coming, yes, it is from Janendra Jani. What is the utmost thing which speaker should avoid?
The answer is very simple, Janendra Janiji, being overconfident. Because the minute you are overconfident, you will go underprepared. And the minute you go underprepared on the stage because you've done multiple keynotes, you will face problems. So the rule number one is never be overconfident and never go into that ego trip when you become a better speaker or a good speaker. Always stay grounded, keep doing more and more practice, and remember that there is no end to learning. Learning only stops the day we die.
I hope that answers your question, Janendra. Sagar, my question is in addition to what Janendra asked, what should every new speaker stop doing immediately?
Stop being a rainbow.
Can you please elaborate that?
Sure, sure. I will. See, a rainbow has seven colors, and in networking or in LinkedIn, I call a person a rainbow profile when you see them everywhere. Every event, every mentoring session, every networking event, or even any kind of thing, they are always there. Now, when you're always there, when you're taking so much of information, you shine like a rainbow, but at the end of the day, you're not doing anything with that information. So I call them rainbow personalities. They are everywhere. They're full of colors, they're full of charm, they participate everywhere but take least action. So don't be a rainbow, don't go everywhere, and don't participate and don't do everything at once. Just be focused on what you really need to do. Focus on that, participate in all the events around that, and get that goal achieved. Because one thing at a time, you will achieve faster. 10 things together, you will be burning out very soon.
So it is related to asking the question three aspiration, top three aspiration a speaker is having, and then
Three goals, I
aligning
would
with,
say. No, rather
yes,
than aspiration, let's call three goals. Have three goals and set your milestones, that these are my three goals. By this month, I will do this month, I will do this, and this month, I will do this. Once you have set those goals, use the AIM framework and focus on your goals.
wonderful. Uh, Sagar, when you have mentioned about not being rainbow and be everywhere, uh, there is a summit which happens in PSAI. Being someone in the journey from last 1 year, I got the opportunity to attend PSS 2026 in Chennai this year. When we say we do not have to be everywhere, what is your take on being there and attending PSS? Because for me, I got the opportunity to meet the seasoned speaker, all the community fellow PSAI member there. Uh, and we are talking about that secret that we get from being in the company of the right people. What is your experience with PSS?
So when I said don't be everywhere, that's for the daily WhatsApp group that you have to participate everywhere. But PSS happens once in a year. So PSS is not everywhere. PSS is everything. And talking about PSS, being a chair for PSS 2021, being a participant of 6 PSS till now, I would just say that PSS is the place where you actually share energy, you share mutual learnings, and you get to observe so many legendary speakers and also your friends, because they then get up on the stage as PSAI for PSAI, they participate, and the network that you create from PSS, the energy that you take back from PSS, the learnings that you take back from PSS, the goals that you can set during PSS can help you to shape your speaking journey. So PSS is not everywhere, PSS is everything.
Yes, Sagar, I can totally vouch for it. The experience I got to share the room with seasoned speaker, to hear them live, not only the Indian speaker but the global speaker. The experience is something which we do not get every time, every day of the 365 day. It's only happened once, and that reminds us to announce to our audience that PSS 2027 is happening in Delhi, in the heart of the country. And if you would like to know more to be part of it, just follow through the page, PSAI official page, and register. So, Sagar,
And
you
the
have
best
mentioned
part,
being, yes,
yep, sorry, I would just add one more thing because what you said about global speakers made me also recall one more memory. Talking about that, PSS is also one place where you can actually launch. Like, this was my fourth book that was launched in PSS this year.
yes,
And
yes,
the opportunity was mind boggling. My book was launched by the president of Global Speakers Federation, Mike Hancock. I mean, where would you get this opportunity that a president of GSF, who is also the president connected with 17 other speaker association, launches your book?
yes. And I was there. I was there cheering every uh, fellow member launching their book, and it actually motivate us to progress in the journey and be there. Thank you, Sagar, for actually helping me to relive those moments of PSS. It actually a kind of energy that we feel when we remind those days of synergy.
Yes.
So, Sagar, here I would like to ask, you have just mentioned that you've been co-chair of PSS. One aspect is we've been discussing about getting what we get from the community, contributing in the initiative of the community, what we learn, because being a part of the Delhi PSAI chapter, and before that, I can see the difference. I would like to hear from you when taking the bigger role, contributing, what actually help us in the journey. It's only giving, or it is a two-way process?
It's always a two-way process. It's absolutely a no-brainer, and thank you for pointing that out. And that's exactly what I meant by involvement. Uh, if you heard it right, I said that getting involved, like you took an involvement to host this. Now, this is your contribution to PSAI Talk Show as a host. And that is exactly what we should do as a part of our involvement, that what value can we bring, what value can we add. Now, it's not always that we are experts and we have to give back as a part of our expertise, but we can help in ticketing, we can help in marketing, we can help in hosting different shows, because even hosting helps us to hone our skills. It's not that hosting is not a thing. I remember being a chair of PSS. I was managing the technical part at the back end, managing the system and everything. I learned so much about StreamYard, about Zoom, about green screen, about managing multiple screen. It also taught me about ticketing. It also taught me about how to actually create the whole event. So when I said involvement, involvement as a part of you involving in the community.
Yes. Thank you, Sagar, for sharing your perspective. Uh, as we are about to close the conversation, and I must say, I have not realized the time is flying so high in these minutes when we are actually getting golden nuggets from our guest today. So one concluding question I'll ask at the end, and before that, let's have a rapid fire, Sagar, where you should not think to answer that question. You have to answer it immediately. Can we start it now? The best speaker always,
The best
the best
speaker
speaker always,
speaks.
the best speaker always speaks in every opportunity.
Sorry, the best speaker. I'm not able. I'm getting disconnected.
Let's move ahead.
Okay,
The biggest mistake a new speaker can make is
being unprepared.
being unprepared. Yes, true. One habit every speaker should build is, yes, we know action, we know reading. What else? One habit every speaker should build right after this talk show.
Write your keynotes. Practice, practice, practice.
Yes, so thank you, Sagar, for reminding. I'm participating in Keynote Lab. So I'll write my keynote after this talk show. One PSAI event nobody should miss.
PSS, undoubtedly, if you haven't, just register right now.
Sure. And your most memorable moment in PSAI.
Last PSS, when we were all on stage, where we received the Circle of Honor Award from Frederick Herren. I mean, that was the moment I would cherish for my whole life.
Wow. One best thing to leverage the PSAI community. One best thing to
Men-
leverage the PSAI community.
Mentorship programs.
Yes, I have taken it last year. Now, thank you, Sagar, for sharing your insight. Now, to conclude, I would like to ask if you could leave every PSAI member with just one piece of advice that could transform their speaking journey. And it is a kind of a summation of what we have discussed in last 1 hour, because we have actually got so many action point to do it right after this talk, if anyone will be that serious to start that action. So what is that one piece of advice Sagar would like to leave today's audience with?
The only piece of advice is Wherever you are in your journey, you are at the right place. Ensure that you take consistent actions towards your goal that you have decided, and don't compare yourself with other speakers, because your journey is special and you are unique. So wherever you are, just keep enjoying. Remember to have consistent efforts to go forward, and don't sit and be stagnant at one place. Keep moving forward, and if you're stuck at any place, ask.
Thank you so much, Sagar. I'm sure those of the audience, those are joining and at the start stage, they got the clarity and the, I must say, the clear strategy. And at the same time, comparison is something that actually most of the time kills that aspiration, that energy that we do have in us. So thank you for giving those clarity. I think we are having one question from the audience.
Yep, Jani is asking for if there are any chapters available in Gujarat. Yes, we have Vadodara chapter, which is active right now.
Yes, Shanendra. I must say that the talk, today's talk, is something not to miss. And Sagar, I'm going to follow the conversation one more time because I have kept my note, and something more, if I miss it, I'll do it, revisit the talk again. um, Starting from abundance, you have mentioned, because most of the time we think, yes, there are many people out there, what new we will bring to the table. So that message from your mother, that there is abundance in the universe, and then focusing where we are, starting from where we are to where we want to go, and then exploring the learning around what we want to work upon. And your aim strategy is something will help us to take the action together with learning continuously. Thank you so much, Sagar, for sharing all that is needed to start a journey to succeed. I would also like to thank PSAI National for bringing these talk show to help the professional speaker, aspiring speaker, seasoned speaker to get the answer of their question. I would also like to thank the backstage team for making the whole process so smooth and convenient for us. And at the last but not the least, thank you so much for all our audience joining from different platform, because without you, these conversation will income would have not been so interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you